The Shadows We Leave Behind. Ethan Cole had everything: wealth, power, and a reputation as one of the most ruthless businessmen in the city. He crushed competitors without remorse, fired employees without hesitation, and abandoned friends and family in his relentless pursuit of success. To him, money was everything. That night, as he drove home from sealing a multi-million-dollar deal, a violent storm raged across the highway. Thunder roared, lightning cracked, and suddenly, his car sputtered to a stop. The dashboard lights flickered. His phone had no signal. Cursing under his breath, Ethan stepped out into the rain. That was when he saw it. A mansion in the distance, lights flickering inside. It stood tall and eerie against the darkened sky, as if waiting for him. Desperate for shelter, Ethan ran towards it, pushing open the heavy front doors. The moment he stepped inside, they slammed shut behind him. The haunting begins. At first, the mansion seemed empty. Dust covered the grand chandeliers, and the air carried the scent of something old and forgotten. But then, he heard it. "Do you remember what you did?" Ethan spun around, his breath hitching. The voice, low, almost a whisper, was familiar. The air grew thick, and the dim candlelight cast shifting shadows on the walls. Then he saw them. Figures emerged from the darkness, hollow-eyed and unmoving, and watching him. People from his past. A woman in a tattered dress stepped forward first. Ethan's stomach twisted. It was Sarah, his former assistant. He had fired her just before her wedding, leaving her in financial ruin. "You didn't even look at me," she whispered, her voice echoing. "I begged you to reconsider, but you only cared about your profit." Ethan's throat went dry. "Sarah," he murmured, "but this isn't real." Another figure stepped forward. James, his former business partner. Ethan had spread false accusations to ruin him. James's face was pale, his eyes hollow. "I trusted you, Ethan," he rasped, "and you destroyed me." One by one, the ghosts of Ethan's past emerged. Employees, friends, even his own brother, whom he had abandoned years ago. Each face carried the same sorrow. The walls stretched, twisting into endless corridors. The shadows closed in, pressing against his skin. "Now it's your turn to lose everything." A lesson in fear. Ethan tried to run, but the mansion had no exit. Every door he opened led back to the same room, the same ghosts staring at him with accusing eyes. Then, the shadows grabbed him. A chilling cold seeped into his bones as the mansion forced him to relive his worst moments. He saw himself sitting at his desk, dismissing Sarah's pleas. He saw James in a courtroom, ruined by Ethan's lies. He saw his brother waiting for him at their mother's funeral. Ethan never showed up. Each memory played like a nightmare, relentless and suffocating. Tears burned in his eyes. "No, I didn't mean," his voice cracked, but deep inside he knew he had never cared. For years, he had justified his actions, convincing himself that money mattered more than people. But now, standing in the darkness of his own making, he felt the weight of every broken soul he had left behind. His breath trembled. "I was wrong. I see that now. I hurt people. I lost myself." A heavy silence filled the mansion. The shadows, which had been suffocating him, paused. The Shadows We Leave Behind. Ethan Cole had everything: